War Game Survivor Series, man. This was a show full of headlines and for obvious reasons. Now, I'm not gonna waste time. Let's get into it. The first match of the show is the Women's War Games match. Damage Control, Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane faced Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Shotzi, and Bianca Belair. So recently, Kairi's return has caused a major shift in Damage Control. Bayley slowly losing her leadership role in this match most likely played a strong part in the future of the faction. The babyfaces had War Games advantage, which meant the first partner was from their side. Becky and Charlotte had a lot of intensity between them over the last week, and it all came to a head here. The action was good. I thought for a War Games match it wasn't special. Io had an exciting moment off the top with the trash can, and it kind of looked scary. Kairi was an emotionless mercenary who was out to complete the job. That's what I can describe her as. The heels had experience in this match, and it worked in their favor for a bit, especially because of Io Sky. Match kicks in, a lot of big spots happen. Charlotte and Becky hug at one point, embracing each other after a few years. These two had a lot of tension inside and outside the ring over the last couple of years. Becky's star power increased while her friendship with Charlotte dwindled. And to finally see them on good terms, and not just like, oh, we're cool with each other, like actual good terms, is nice. And at one point, Bayley sacrificed herself, saving Kairi to take a spear and eventually lose the match for Damage Control. Good match. There's a couple of stories to come from this one. The most interesting is Bayley. She's been a heel for 4 years now, and a change is necessary, especially because this heel character is not going up. Bayley has the capabilities, and perhaps a face turn of her will open a lot more. We'll see, but I'm personally excited to see her as a face. It's gonna be fresh, something we haven't seen in a while. R-Truth is back. Man, it's honestly so good to see R-Truth. We haven't seen him in a while, and seeing how he was away for so long, I kind of missed him. I was like, hey, this guy actually brought a different element to Raw. Obviously, the whole 24/7 thing was overdone, but he's a very entertaining character. The next match is for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther defended the gold against The Miz. The Miz is one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time. I think it's funny how some debate this because Miz is not that workhorse wrestler, and regardless of that, this man has done more with the IC title than 99% of the champions from the years of 1999 to right now. He brought legitimacy and honor to that title, which is ironic because people are like, he's not good as a wrestler. We're going to end the yapping, but for Miz, this was a chance to make it a 9th title reign. Did I believe he had a chance? Hell no. I have a better chance of reaching 100k this week than Miz winning the title here. With that said, this match was good. It wasn't the typical Gunther battle that involves him going to hell and back with a pure workhorse match. No, Miz was a dirty face, trying every dirty trick in the book for an advantage, and as time went on, he was getting more and more desperate. He pulled out some very unique moves, at least for himself, then started hitting low blows, exposing the turnbuckle, but this wasn't 2016. Gunther had an answer to everything and even tapped him out to a variant of the Lion Tamer, which was ironic considering Chris Jericho is a 9-time Intercontinental Champion. Gunther's reign continues. He's done well for himself as this pure wrestler as opposed to the Miz's mainstream wrestling thing, and that was the story of the build. Basically, pro wrestling always wins when it comes down to it. That's basically what Gunther was trying to say and what he was trying to prove here. That said, the guy that beats him, whether it's Chad Gable, Ilya Dragunov, or freaking Dragon Lee, LA Knight, Jey Uso, whoever beats him, whoever it is on Raw or SmackDown, whoever it is going to be huge. The next match was between Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar. So Rey Mysterio brings in this whole LWO thing, associates himself with Legado del Fantasma, only for Santos Escobar to turn on him and take him out. That match will happen in the future, but everyone expected Carlito to wrestle here. Santos and storyline took him out as well, and so Dragon Lee filled in. He's been on the main roster for only a couple of months now, and only recently have they allowed him to show his skills. He was kind of like a hidden in plain sight guy. Best kept secret, and here they were cooking. These two went to work and really made the most out of the short time they had. And Santos had the crowd's interest. He's not one of those people who the internet talks about, likes, and comes out to crickets. No. The fans, they boo him. Chanted, fuck you, Adam, and this match had the crowd's attention. Funny part is, this is not their best work together. If they actually went all out, Chicago would have blown the roof out of that place. Santos won here, which was expected, and I'm sure that Rey match is going to be good. We'll see. The next match is for the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley defending the title against Zoe Stark. So Rhea's reign hasn't been the best. I've said that time and time again. It's common knowledge, but her star power has increased. Whoever she faces at WrestleMania, most likely Becky Lynch, it probably main events the first night of the show, although after what happened during the show, that's a different story. This match wasn't anything special. It's something you'd see on Raw. Rhea was cheered, the fans loved her like she was a babyface, but other than that, I don't have much to say about this match. You know, I'm not going to waste time here and talk about this and that. I don't got much to say. It was basic. Zoe wasn't a threatening challenge, nor was she a great opponent for Rhea like The Miz was for Gunther. He had the history behind the title and the attention from the crowd. With Zoe, not many people in the crowd were cheering for her or even interested at the moment for her. Rhea retained the title, and she's off to another title defense. We'll see how that goes. And the main event, the men's War Games match. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Randy Orton faced the Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre. This was the match. The connecting storylines all meeting together in one setting. So Finn Balor's been pushing for JD McDonough to join the group. It took a while, but he's finally an official member of the group. Jey Uso's been trying to gain the trust of the guys on Raw to the point where Drew McIntyre started questioning everybody and turning heel. Why? Because everybody was out to get him. This includes Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and of course Jey Uso. Rollins and Cody had animosity in the past. Jey and Sami had this nice relationship together, and Randy Orton, they made it seem like he wouldn't show up. That makes sense because they wanted to make his return big. Otherwise, you'd hear I hear voices and he'd be stuck in a cage. Doesn't really make sense. War Games advantage with the heels. The match is better than the women's match. I like this more because there was a lot of more stories intertwining. The heels dominated with their advantage. Jey and Sami had a moment, but in the long run, the heels took over. Nice moment with Dom getting his ass beat. Priest made Drew wait a bit, and when he came out full of anger and destroyed everybody. This was all set up for Damian Priest to cash in the briefcase when all of a sudden, Randy Orton, after his supposed entry, and the moment where the Judgment Day thought he wouldn't show up, finally came out, and that changed all the momentum. Orton was exciting and didn't miss a beat. He wrestled at the exact same pace as he used to. DDT, Power Slam, and of course, the RKO. Hell, even the wrestlers themselves on his team hit the DDT with him. Jey being scared of Randy Orton the entire time, being worried he's the reason why he didn't show up in the first place. Then he comes out, almost beats him up, but they end up siding with each other for the moment. That ending with the babyfaces finally fighting back was cool, and Cody was the one who had the honor, the privilege of scoring the victory. Cody Rhodes' team won the match, and I guess the feud with the Judgment Day is officially over. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, Randy Orton's back, and it was nice. Like, I'm not going to try to undersell it. Orton's return was so damn exciting. It's been, I believe, 550 days since we last seen him. At times, we actually doubted Orton's return. I thought Orton may never return to the ring, which I thought was sad because at the end of the day, this guy's a living legend. He deserves to have closure to his career. He's back. The RKO was nice to see. I actually doubted we'll see it, but it was nice that it actually happened. Super RKO on JD McDonough. Dom. Everything was cool about Randy Orton here. It was exciting. Great match. The problem, though, with these War Games matches is that they're not, like, bloody. I thought Cody Rhodes was going to be, like, the superstar of this match, bleeding, climbing up the cage, doing some wild stuff, but it wasn't that. Did it need to be? I thought it did, especially for a War Games match, but it is what it is. As a match, it's good, but as a War Games match, it's not like this big, historic match that you'll think of in a couple of years. If you do think about this match, though, you'll think about Randy Orton's return. That was nice. But wait, there's more. CM Punk, after 9 years, almost 10 years, finally returned to the WWE in Chicago. Like, this moment was absolutely ridiculous. I cannot really sell how wild it was to see this guy actually come back. You hear, like, that TV radio flicker, and you hear Cult of Personality, like, what the hell? I was absolutely amazed that he actually came back because people were convinced he was coming back. I was a bit like, hey, he's not coming back. I wasn't like, oh, he's not coming back straight up, but I doubted it a lot because WWE wasn't teasing too hard like they did with the Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt stories. This was a little subliminal, but CM Punk returned. First time in 9 years. The fact that he returned, astonishing. It's crazy. They actually signed him after the whole AEW thing, how he was released. They brought him back, and it was a memorable moment. It's one of the most memorable moments this entire year. Up there with The Rock's return from 2 months earlier. It was shocking. Nobody was going to be like, hey, CM Punk is coming after the main event with a straight face. They said it, but they were doubting it themselves. But he's back. Rollins doesn't look happy. Maybe that's a story. I heard Drew raged in the back, but I'm not the one that verified this stuff. I wasn't in the arena to see this stuff. I'm going to take it as it is. But CM Punk is back, and it leaves a lot of things interesting for Raw. It opens a lot of things, and we'll see how CM Punk's return in WWE goes. But, man, this was absolute insanity. The fact that he actually came back, wow. I thought it was going to take a lot for them to actually bring him back, and it probably did. We'll see how things go. I wish the best, you know. Hopefully there's not any locker room drama. It's good for all parties involved. We'll see. So yeah, that's Survivor Series. There were some decent matches here. War Games matches were good. Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar, Gunther and Miz. Rhea and Zoe Stark was the weakest match, but as a show, it could have been a bit better. Both matches, both the men's and women's matches, they worked very hard to put on these entertaining matches. And while I wish they were a bit better, you know, like I thought there could have been more to them, especially on the men's side with Cody Rhodes. They were good. They were very entertaining matches. No denying that. I think as a match, the women's War Games match was better than the men's match because there was a lot of more memorable spots there and action going down. But personal preference is the main event, obviously, because of Randy Orton's return. The moment Orton returned to the end of the match, of the men's War Games match, was one of the best endings I've ever seen for a WWE match in the last year. Amazing stuff, very exciting, and it was nice for once to not be disappointed by the heels actually winning the thing. You know? Like the faces, they give you a glimmer of hope with them, and they end up having the heels win. They didn't do that here. They just went all out with them. Orton drops them. RKO wins the whole thing. It was nice. That's match of the night for me. Men's War Games match. Best match. And CM Punk's return, biggest moment on the show, no doubt about it. Again, 10 years. 10 years since he last appeared in WWE, in a WWE ring. I'm not talking about the whole backstage thing. I'm talking about WWE. He's back. He's got a lot of views they could do. They could do Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Randy Orton. Hell, maybe even John Cena again, Cody Rhodes. They got all these guys. So only time will tell how things go with CM Punk. But yeah, this was a nice show. It was very enjoyable. So yeah. Alright, what you guys think of Survivor Series? Please comment down below. And that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the skull crushing finale on the like button and perhaps the RKO on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.